Hey guys, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. I have been wanting to replace our front door ever since we moved into this house. The front door is definitely an important part of your home. It's one of the first things that your neighbors and guests see as they drive past or visit your home. I wanted to make our entry a bit more welcoming, so I'm going to walk you guys through how to replace your old, worn out front door and frame with a new, beautiful front door like this. This is the front door I ordered from Home Depot. It's pre-hung, which means it comes with the frame and the hinges already attached and ready to go. As you can see, doors are not cheap, but I saved a lot of money installing it myself. And I also saved about $450 by buying it unfinished and then staining it myself. You want to make sure that you order the correct size door to fit your opening. So when you're looking for a door, pay attention to the rough opening, height, and width to make sure that it will fit in your space. First, I'm going to take off the trim around the inside of the door. I used a utility knife to score a line on the outside of my trim so that I don't peel any paint when I'm taking the trim off. I used a little cat claw tool and hammer to pry the trim off the wall. If your trim is in good shape, remove it carefully and you can reuse it later. This is the door frame here, and you want to measure from the outside to the outside to get your rough opening measurement. I have an old house, and of course a standard size door isn't going to quite fit. Nothing can ever go smooth in an old house. The door frame was a little bit taller than my rough opening, so I had to remove this tile to make space for the height of the door frame. Hopefully you can skip this step. Now that you are 100% sure that your door will fit your opening, you can go ahead and remove your door hardware, latch plates, doorbells, or security systems that are going to be in the way. One very important thing to note, you want to start this project as early as possible in the morning, and you want to be sure you have all the tools and supplies ahead of time because this project will take a while and you don't want to leave the house to run to the hardware store or go to bed with a hole in your house. So get an early start so you can get your new door installed and secured before the sun goes down. I'm using a nail set and hammer to remove the 3 hinge pins, then the door will come off the hinges. Before I install the new door, now is a great time to hydrate with my favorite healthy electrolyte drink mix, Liquid IV. When I dive into DIY projects like this, I tend to not get enough water in for the day, but drinking 1 Liquid IV can provide 2 to 3 times more hydration and 3 times the electrolytes. Not to mention, it also tastes great. I think I've tried almost all of their flavors, and my favorite so far is this lemon lime. Another thing I love about this drink mix is that they're easy to pack and use on the go. Last summer for our wedding, we gave a bunch of these out to our wedding party and we put them in our guests' welcome baskets and everyone loved it. These have become my go-to for proper hydration. We keep a stash of Liquid IV in our little drink bar area here. My family loves it too, so I have to stay stocked up. Thanks to Liquid IV for sponsoring this video. You can use my code HOMEWITHSTEPHANIE to get 25% off their website plus free shipping. You can find the link to the website in the description below. Okay, so the next step is to remove the threshold and door jamb. The threshold was screwed down, so I unscrewed it and used a pry bar to remove it. Next, I'm removing the door jamb. If your door jamb is screwed in, use an impact driver to unscrew all the screws. If the door jamb is nailed into the house framing, you may want to take a Sawzall or multi-tool to cut through the nails, which will make removing it a lot easier. Make sure to remove any nails or screws that are sticking out. If you have any exterior casing that you want to save, be very careful when removing your door frame, or you can remove the casing completely and reattach it later. This here is my exterior casing. I actually have this stuff called brick mold. It's old and rotted, so I'm going to remove it. If I didn't remove it though, I would just butt my new door up against the exterior casing. I mentioned earlier that my rough opening was a little too short for my door frame, old house problems, so I'm removing the rest of the tile here. Measure the threshold for your new door to see how it aligns with your flooring. Our new threshold will run right into our floors, and I have to cut back the flooring a little bit so that it's in line with the wall. Now, typically you will have wood framing to attach your new door jamb to. I, on the other hand, have concrete walls and these 2 wood strips to secure my door jamb to, so I have to take measurements and remember where these are. I taped the wiring for my doorbell to the exterior wall. There will be enough of a gap here from my door jamb and the framing, so these can stay just like this for now. Depending on your situation, you may have to drill a hole in your door jamb for your doorbell wires. Do a test fit to make sure your door fits properly and to make sure the threshold is nice and level before installing your new door. If your sill plate is wood, which is typical, you'll want to install some sort of sill pan or flashing tape to protect the wood. I have a concrete slab here and it's nice and level, so I'm applying a tube of adhesive sealant to fill the void underneath the threshold and to seal the bottom of my new door. You'll want to remove the transport plug that comes with the new door, and then you're ready to tip the new door up into place. You really should have 2 people doing this, but I was feeling super strong this day. Once the door was up in place, I opened the door and put a few shims underneath the door so that it sort of propped itself up without me having to hold on to it while I make adjustments. Once again, you'll want to check the top of the door to make sure it's level under one side of the threshold to get it exactly where I needed it. Then I'm going to the hinge side, making sure it's level and plumb. I used shims behind each of the hinges to get my door where it needed to be. To secure the door to the frame, I removed 1 screw at each hinge, drilled pilot holes, and then replaced those screws with these number 8 screws that will go all the way into the framing. From the inside, make sure your door is centered and plumb and move on to secure the other side of the door. On the non-hinge side, I'm using shims at about the same height as the hinges, but this time I'm securing the screws behind the weather stripping so that they're hidden. I drilled a pilot hole first, then countersunk my screws to secure the non-hinge side. Make sure that the gap around your door is even all the way around. I added a few more screws in my door frame for some added security. On the exterior side, I will install the brick molding to cover this gap, and I'll drill a hole through the brick molding for my doorbell. I am securing the door hardware temporarily so that I can lock the front door tonight, then tomorrow I'll take it off again while I stain the door. I used my multi-tool to cut off the shims, then came in with great stuff to fill any gaps around my door, making sure that no light is coming through around the door frame. And that is it for day 1. It's day 2 and I'm going in with pre-stain wood conditioner first. Then this gel stain in the color walnut. This is ideal for staining vertical surfaces and it's safe for outdoor use. Then I will finish it off with a few coats of this spar urethane. Before the pre-stain wood conditioner, I lightly sanded with 220 grit sandpaper. Then I used a rag to apply the wood conditioner. Next, I'm applying the gel stain. I found that it worked best to apply it with a brush, let it sit for a few minutes, and then wipe off the excess stain with a clean rag. The stain has to set for 24 hours before applying the top coat, so I took this time to install all the molding. I bought some new brick molding, mitered the corners, and installed that around the exterior of the door, making sure that the reveal of my door jamb was the same all the way around. I had to drill a hole in the brick mold for my doorbell wiring. I secured the brick mold with 2-inch brad nails. After that was secure, I took some paintable waterproof caulk and sealed all the way around the exterior of the door. I bought some new 3-inch trim to go around the interior of the door. And now it's time for all the final touches. I reinstalled the door hardware and our security system. I plan to install this privacy control window film, but I'm going to do that another day. I did some touch-up paint on the exterior. I'm painting this step for now, but we may do some type of tile or brick down the road. A welcoming rug and a few plants, and this project is complete. Thank you guys for watching. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to subscribe and like this video. I've got more DIY tutorials coming up, so stay tuned.